Alright, back again, guys, with another podcast, me and Killey. A lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of news just recently happened today. So we're not going to talk about everything, but first, what's up, Killey?
Had the worst day at work.
Yeah, you were just telling him, man, you had a really shitty time. Well, that's what
Murphy's
happens,
Law.
man.
Murphy's Law happened to me multiple times.
That sucks, man.
But anyways, I digress.
Yeah, pretty much. Long story short, let's talk about some Street Fighter V stuff. So, obviously, you guys know that Dhalsim was announced today, but in this podcast, we're not going to talk about Dhalsim because we simply just do not have enough time because I got to go to work after this. So at least you're more awake, Killey, for this because I'm not bugging you at like midnight now. So we got to wrap up this podcast and I go to work and we'll talk about Dhalsim later. But it works out anyways because like they're going to find out a lot of information on Dhalsim. We'll have a lot more to talk about the character than just the trailer itself. So push that to the next podcast. And we'll talk about some other things too. But right now, I just want to talk about basically just the beta. Now that it's concluded, I just want to talk about the beta as a whole. So, you got to play the beta last week, right?
I played it with you.
Well, in the last couple days, but you got to play a little bit at home, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
That's good. So, what was your overall impression of it, pretty much? Without talking about the characters.
Better than Phase 1 for sure. Connections felt more stable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we still had the extremes of really laggy and really good connections, but I felt those extremes were less frequent than Phase 1.
Yeah.
Had way more stable connections in general, so that was good.
Like this actual like information that Capcom's taken in between these beta tests, they're actually doing something with it, right? Like there's actual improvement. That's good. But overall, that's pretty much it then.
Pretty much.
Without mentioning the characters.
Yeah.
Like basically when the beta first came out, you know, I needed to document as much information as possible. The very first thing I wanted to do was go to the original core 6 characters and you know, find out all the differences that they've changed, all the patches and stuff, and the buffs and nerfs of all the original characters like Ryu, Chun Li, you know, Nash, Bison, and they weren't available, which sucked for me, you know what I mean? Because that's one of the first things I wanted to do. Instead, we got the other 6 characters, which was great for everyone else because everyone wanted to try out the new characters, of course. But, you know, I really wanted those characters to come in, but of course they were released later. But on the very first day for me, I couldn't find a single match. Well, basically, if we count day 0, which was before the official starting date, the beta was up, and we were finding matches.
Yeah,
and
like matchmaking was fast. And
it was crazy because I guess there wasn't too many people on. There wasn't much server load, right? I don't know much about that stuff, but I just know there wasn't that many people playing, and I was finding matches like non-stop, so I couldn't really record anything, right? And it sucks too because I wanted to get that Karin stage, right?
Yeah.
And I was so close to having 2K before the server shut down.
Mm-hmm.
I was at like, I don't know, 1,600 or something. And then, because it takes 2,000 fight money to unlock the stage. And you get 50 fight money for a win and 10 for a loss. So I was at like 1,600 or something like that. And then on the official date, when the servers went up again, I lost all my fight money.
Oh, damn.
So that kind of sucked.
Nearly your baller going, my fight money.
I know, man. And I was going through all the characters too. But anyways, day 1 starts. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, this is a good time to record a bunch of stuff. So I did. Capcom basically said that no one's getting connections. And basically they said that the rest of the beta is going to be like this. They're going to say that we're not going to find matches for the entire beta.
Yeah.
That was their first announcement. And everyone's like, oh, this is so shitty. But for me, I was like, great, because then now I can record everything, right? So the very first day, I recorded a ton of stuff. Like, a ton of stuff. Like, I got enough videos here to do, like, a breakdown on all the new characters. And maybe some combo stuff. I don't know. I don't think I recorded enough, because people found a lot of shit later. And then, just, you know, a couple things. And then, after the first day, then all of a sudden Capcom said they hotfixed it. And then all of a sudden we're finding matches like crazy. Like just non-stop. It got to the point where I got frustrated because I couldn't really record anything. I was finding matches too frequently. So then I'm like, okay, well, I might as well start the stream. Then so on day 2, I started streaming, and then we couldn't find matches again. It was funny. So I was like, yo, I'm sorry for starting the stream, guys. You know what I mean? Can't find any matches. And then Capcom said one of their servers died or something, and then which screwed up the rest of the servers, I guess. I don't know. You know about that stuff more than me, Killer. But anyways, long story short, they got the matchmaking back up to par. It wasn't as crazy as day 0 though, but it was good. And then I recorded some more stuff later off the stream, but yeah, I got to stream for a bit, so that was great. And then you guys came over, you and Quan. That was pretty fun. So yeah, that pretty much was it for the beta. Overall, it was pretty good. I still think it was a little too short. The expectations for everyone to play was, I guess, cut a little too short. At least the PC users got an extra day. You know what I mean? But the crossplay seemed pretty seamless. You couldn't really tell if you were playing a PC player or a PS4 player. I guess that's a good thing. You can check their profile though, and it'll tell you if they're PC or PS4. So you could find out after the match, but during the matchmaking you couldn't tell. So I thought it was good. I played a little bit on the PC version, off stream though, because I can't really stream like a PC game and stream at the same time with like good quality. But I was playing the PC version for a bit, and it seemed like the same shit to me, so it was okay. But yeah, man, I'm pretty sure everyone was, pretty satisfied with it. Another thing I want to talk about before we get to the characters is the Capcom Fighters Network as a whole. Like, what did you think, Killey, about like the fight money system and the LP system that they had?
Fight money was just kind of like a testing thing because we all know now that you can unlock, not unlock, well, yeah, I guess so, unlock character stages, whatever, with the fight money. So it was a good test to see how that was going to work and what the general price point would be. Still could change, so that wasn't too bad. CFN, honestly, I didn't really play around with the options too much. I tried to search up certain players, but I couldn't really find anything.
Really?
Yeah, because I think you create your own ID when you get on. So unless you know the exact ID rather than their actual PSN ID, you probably couldn't find them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, so when you log into the Street Fighter 5 network, you are allowed to assign a region and an ID. So, everyone was using like their real tags, or they're using Smurf tags or whatever, right? But with the fight money, like I said, you get 50 fight money for a win, 10 for a loss, and there wasn't enough things to spend your fight money on. Well, I guess if you're like, a normal person who doesn't play 12 hours a day like we did, then I guess that makes sense. But like seriously, we had like, by the end of the beta, we had like 7K, fight money to spend. And there was like nothing to spend it on. We had some titles to unlock, but they're all like 200. And then we had like the Karin stage, right? The estate, which was 2K, and then that was it. I thought it would have been cool if we had like one extra character, like Zangief, for example, that you could unlock with like 5K or something like that, just to get really people fiending to get this character. I thought that would have been a cool idea. But then people would have been salty not being able to play Zangief. Yeah. If they didn't have the time, of course. So it is what it is. At least give us like a title that says like, you know what I mean, like Beta Master or something like that for 5K. It doesn't do anything. It just shows like you fiended on that. But that would have been funny. As for the CFN, I'm gonna make a video about it. I recorded some stuff just showing the interface a little bit of that. But it seems pretty good so far. Of course, we were still stuck in training mode with like auto matchmaking, and which kind of still sucks. You know what I mean? Like it's not that reliable because you're not searching for certain regions and certain you know what I mean, rankings. Yeah. Because the thing is that we had an LP system, which is like an ELO system where you get LP for a win depending on the LP of your opponent, and if you lose, you lose depending on his amount of his LP. And the problem with that is that like when you start grinding, you're just grinding on players that don't know how to play. You know what I mean? Like it's just more about the more you play. It's not about the people you beat. It's just not enough difference that you're just grinding it out, and it's like kind of sucks because like if you're like rank, let's say like 150, it'd be nice to play against other rank 150 players. But like, I forgot what rank I got up to. I think I got as low as like rank 140 or something like that, and I'm still playing against ranked like 17,000 players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sucks for them and it sucks for me. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not learning anything, they're not learning anything. People are just getting destroyed, and I'm just grinding it out. So
I'm sure they're gonna fine tune that though.
yeah, of course. I
It's
think there's
more
just
for just
a
matchmaking
placeholder.
purposes
Yeah.
and testing that code rather than like filters.
I do want them to have like a league system, so we're in different divisions for sure. So we're playing people inside our skill level, right?
Yeah.
Just so it doesn't become a grind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I definitely hope they do that. But I was checking out the leaderboards and stuff. There's a lot of cool information. But like I said, I'm gonna make a separate video on that anyways. But my overall impression is it's pretty good. And as for the netcode seemed good. We did play against some people using leg switches and shit.
Okay.
But overall it was pretty good. And the new training mode options are awesome too, for sure. Like that CPU, man. You play against that CPU.
Tons.
And the CPU is brutal, man. You can set the training dummy to a CPU, and the CPU is actually pretty good.
At level 8, yeah, it's
They're pretty damn good. Like they do like V trigger cancel combos, the anti-air. They rush you down, man. They like, I don't know. They're really scary. Like they do actual good combos, and when I played against the Ken one, I used that one to like figure out some Ken combos and stuff. Like the bot was teaching me, so it was pretty cool, man. So I'm pretty happy about that the AI is good like that. That's good, man. We could have like a cool like story mode and things like that, right?
mm-hmm.
And you're able even to assign a second player to train with you, and you can actually kind of set it up so you can have kind of like a versus, but it's only one round. But
Yeah.
your health bar does go down and it does say KO, so that's kind of cool.
We were doing that a lot too.
Yeah, and like when we were waiting for matches, and to be honest, man, I had more fun playing against you and like Quad than actually playing online.
I have to
Just
agree
because
too.
it was nice playing against somebody who knows what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I felt like when I was playing online, I was just doing like the same combo over and over again because like it's the first time they've seen it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Especially with Rashid, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's move on to the new characters, the new 6 characters. So, how do you want to do this? You want to go one by one each character, or you want to talk about your favorite?
Let's go one by one. But overall, I have to say, like, I was really happy with the new 6.
Were you?
They were all really fun to use.
You think? Yeah, you think there was like something for everybody kind of thing?
I really do. I really do.
Okay, that's
But
good.
yeah, I had a lot of fun using every single one of them. Obviously, I had favorites more so than others, but I was pretty pleased with the new 6. There were a lot of surprises in there too. So I think any sort of doubts people had about certain characters, if they actually got to play them, I think their minds would change on some of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, let's start with who's like the first one that comes to mind.
Do you want to start with who by order of release? Let's do that.
Sure. Okay. So Necalli?
So the first day was Vega and Mika, wasn't it?
No, that was day 0.
Yeah. I guess so. Okay.
So the official day was Necalli, Vega, Mika, Ken.
Okay.
But I think in order it would be Ken, wouldn't it? Or did Necalli come out before Ken? Necalli was announced at EVO.
Yeah. No. Yes. Necalli was. Yeah. It would be
So Necalli was the first one, right?
Yeah. Okay. So let's start with Necalli.
Okay.
All right. You want to go first?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay, so Necalli, I felt like out of all the characters, including the very first 6 characters like Ryu and Chun Li and all that, I feel like Necalli is the most simple character in the entire game. Do you agree with me? You don't have to agree with me, Killey.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn on that one. He's a pretty straightforward character.
I feel like if someone was starting fighting games for the first time and they were playing Street Fighter V, I would recommend Necalli over Ryu. I feel like Necalli is so simple to play. He's so straightforward. He's just like a character you can really like get into the game and just play. Like he does not take too much time to learn. Like yeah, sure, there's gonna be some tech and people are gonna find some really cool stuff with him. He does have some depth, but I think just straight out of the gate, I think like Necalli is like super simple, very straightforward, especially combo wise, and his damage output is really good too. of course, like everyone recommends Ryu because he has every tool he needs to win. You know what I mean? People
Hmm.
don't like. Everyone feels like Ryu doesn't really have too many bad matchups because of it. But I just feel like Necalli is just so simple. Um, I don't mean that in like a negative either. I just mean that like he's a character really made for I feel like beginners.
He does have a sort of a almost well-rounded tool set. Like they're pretty straightforward and intuitive. Like the charge move going through fireballs to get you in,
Oh
even though it's
well, speaking
unsafe.
of that too, um, I was kind of fearing that Capcom would give us the old uh, what's it called version of the new characters.
Yeah,
For example, Necalli started out as a full like non-charge character,
yeah.
and then they turned him into a full charge character, and then recently they made it so his uppercut is not a charge, but his berserker slash is a charge, so he's like a hybrid,
Yeah.
and that's the version of Necalli that we got. I wouldn't say that these characters are the newest version of Street Fighter V because in the SCR builds I did see some weird differences between this build. So I'm not sure if this is like a build even after the SCR build. That's the one with Laura. But I do know it's at least at least like more current than it was before, especially when you put into consideration the Kali having a non-charge uppercut and a charge berserker slash move, the one
Hmm.
where he dashes across the screen. So
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. We at least got to play like a newer version of these characters. What I'm saying.
Yeah.
So most of it is up to date, I would say. So sorry, what were you saying again?
No, straightforward tool set, and it's intuitive, right? Like the stomps, you use that for pressure and combos. They're not entirely safe, so there's some conditioning involved. You have that DP as your reversal, and you have a command grab as an additional way to open people up.
Mm-hmm.
And then the V skill is like a fireball in itself. So all the tools, and pretty straightforward.
I think his command grab sucks.
It does suck.
His the range on it is absolute ass. Like
Startup is kind of slow
you
too.
could do some setups to tick into it and stuff, but the opponent's really got to be sleeping.
Yeah.
Like you really have to prove to your opponent that you're frame trapping the hell out of them before you unleash that command grab. Seriously, because I don't know if you noticed, Killey, but like the word on the street is mashing, crouching, light punch seems to be really, really effective right now. And it makes characters with Necalli with really shitty range command grabs a hard time to
To land it,
penetrate
yeah.
their defense, man. Necalli's uppercut seems really good, especially since he can use the hard version of his uppercut as an anti-air. It's got a lot of invincibility frames. You don't have
Mhm.
to use light or medium. The hard punch version works really well as an anti-air. His down hard punch is a pretty good anti-air too, but it comes out a little slow. You kind of have to V-trigger to use it more reliably.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like your playstyle with Necalli might be different than mine. My playstyle was just trying to get that V trigger as soon as possible. Like I would go full screen and start, abusing his V skill and start slamming the ground and then try to get V trigger ASAP. Because you get a lot of bar even when they block it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was trying that, and then his stomps are really crazy. Like according to the frame data, his light stomp is like -2. But then it starts getting more to the 0 and more to the plus. And then on V trigger, it's like most of them are safe. And it's really scary because during his stomp, like when you cancel a normal into a stomp, there's a gap in between each stomp. And if your opponent presses a button, he gets counter hit like every time, man. And
Yeah.
that just leads to massive damage with Necalli. Like
It's
he's a
weird
frame
because
trapping beast.
like and the stomp also moves his hitbox, right? So sometimes you try to counter poke, and because he lifts his leg when he stomps, you whiff your counter poke, and then he
Yeah.
counter hits you that way too.
Yeah, man. And it's like that's just something you don't want to happen against Necalli, man. Like he hits you hard. You know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
his target combo does a lot of damage. You know, um, but overall, like I feel like Necalli has troubles getting in. Like, did you have problems getting in with that character? Like, can you see that high end play like Necalli having troubles getting in?
His hitboxes are bad.
Yeah, like his normal hitboxes are because he's a really slow character too. Like in terms of his normals without V trigger, so like I feel like in high end play he'll have troubles getting in for sure. Like I feel like he really needs his V trigger to get going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's also a character you have to really condition with. So you have to kind of play gimmicky, like stomp and then that minus whatever two, do a
Hmm.
DP to check their pokes. And then when they stop
He needs to do a lot
mashing,
of conditioning.
yeah, like once they stop mashing, then like that's when you can push buttons or do the command grab.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like his super is really good too. Like it actually goes really far, like almost full screen, and like if they whiff something, they can like punish them with it. Like it's really good super. If you just use it raw, a lot of people are comboing into it, but just using it like by itself is actually really good. So that is Necalli. Let's move on to the next character, which is what, Ken? Or
By
is
order of reveal, yeah.
yeah. So next character is Ken. You start this time, Killey.
He's fun. I like them.
Like when I first played him, I'm like, man, Ken, like he kind of sucks. You know what I mean? Because
Really?
like that was my first impression, like right away. Like I'm talking like first 10 minutes, because like his normals, like his crouching medium kick is ass.
It is. It is really
You know what I
bad.
mean? Like the range, and then you know, doing like a fireball up close was like negative. Like you get full punished for it if you chuck a fireball and cancel a normal into it,
Hmm.
and just like a lot of his normals, like especially when you compare him to Ryu from the E3 build, I was just like, whoa, you know what I mean? But then I start to realize, you know, you don't play Ken like Ryu anymore. He's a totally different character,
Yeah.
and his V skill, you can't really abuse it that much. It's got a lot of like recovery. You can't cancel the normal that quickly.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. But then you know I started realizing that you don't really cancel your normals into the V skill that much. You usually use it just to run and throw them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you play Ken like KOF styles. You know what I mean? Where you really put the pressure on them because they make it really scared for them
Yeah.
to block too much. And
You don't like straight up cancel from a normal. You just kind of do it raw
yeah,
at
yeah, and then you
at a
just throw
specific
them.
range, and then you toss them
Yeah,
or
and
push
then
buttons.
Ken's got good anti-airs. Like he can use his standing medium kick, he can use his crouching hard punch, and this uppercut, obviously. But like if you use a normal as an anti-air, you can cancel that into your V skill and run underneath the opponent, and you can actually set it up so you either land in front or behind.
Yeah,
And
and you can also like juggle with his V trigger off of that.
yeah, like
And
it's pretty
his
cool.
crouch fierce has a crush counter. Oh man, that's insane.
Yeah, it's weird. And the funny part is when you anti-air with Ken's crouching hard punch, which is a crush counter, it won't actually do a crush counter unless they're like right into the fist. Like they got to be pretty low to the ground. It's strange how the game detects it. So like the crush counter system is kind of weird right now with Ken's crouching hard punch. It doesn't crush counter every time. It has to be at a certain like range and distance. But
You
if you
get
set it
some.
up, man, you can do some nasty combos, man.
Yeah,
Like
he's got some really cool juggle combos with it.
yeah, and like Ken, he does a lot of damage if you like land his combos and stuff. And people found some really cool stuff with him. Like in the late stages of the beta, they found out you can literally just link his crouching medium punch into uppercut, or link his crouching medium punch straight into super, like third strike styles. And it's like it's a hit confirm. Like you have enough time to do it every time without worry. And I think in high end play that's gonna be really crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His EX uppercut has insane horizontal range. You're
Hmm.
able to punish things that like otherwise couldn't be punished because it's so fast and it reaches so far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? His V trigger is like one of the only really unsafe V triggers to use in the game right now, where you really have to set it up. You can't just use it raw. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
A lot of people are getting destroyed for that.
This some people found some interesting thing. Like people jump and they activate V trigger, and then the run animation he runs underneath them, kind of like his V skill.
Yeah, like it's really cool, man. It's really cool. And then I found some like weird stuff, like his hurricane kick during V trigger, or like neutralize fireballs and stuff, like weird shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he is definitely he's still a Shoto, but he just does not play like Ryu. You do not want to play.
He's
him like Ryu.
he's a offensive character.
Yeah,
Like
very
he's
offensive. Um, he's definitely like if Ken was like a KOF character, this is like the closest he's been. Like,
yeah.
I just like that running burst with Ken. So like I said, my first impression of Ken was like he was kind of ass, but then after we learned stuff and learned how to play him properly, he's really cool. He's a really fun character, and I like the fact that you can really distinguish the two between Ken and Ryu.
Hmm.
Before, like in the E3, or when Ken was first announced, I was saying in my head, what is the point of playing Ryu? But now I'm seeing the weaknesses of Ken, and more of the strengths of playing Ryu to suit your playstyle of a more methodical, zoning kind of playstyle, where Ken is more like rush down, tricky, like aggressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm starting to see the differences. So overall, I say Capcom did a really good job with Ken. Of course, Ken was really crazy in the earlier builds, especially with his running. So it looks like they toned that down a bit. So I'm curious to see how Ken will end up in the final build of Street Fighter V. Anything else you want to talk about with Ken?
Nope.
And Cole really liked his voice actor, the Japanese one.
The Japanese voice actor.
He was all
it's
over
the same.
that, man.
It's the same. He kept going on about how he
Yeah,
puts more
he was
emphasis
all
on
over.
his
He
stuff.
says like he sounds more enthusiastic and stuff.
Yeah.
And Cole really liked the voice actor for the Japanese. Poor Dante. Okay, next character is Vega, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Vega.
Oh my god, this character. He's nuts.
Vega is crazy, man.
Crazy good.
I'm thinking, would Vega be the most difficult character to play right now?
He's not intuitive, that's for sure.
He's hard to play, dude. Even though he's not a charge character, you have to understand a lot of things with Vega, especially since he has two stances, claw on and claw off.
Yeah.
And with the claw on, you're more of a poking, spacing footsie kind of play style. With claw off, it's more like rushing in, and you have way more access to combos. A lot more of your normals are cancelable, right?
Yeah.
And there are some weaknesses with Vega. For one, you gotta really understand your combos, because if the opponent is crouching, they can avoid a lot of things. Like your EX wall dive, for example, won't hit them when they're crouching.
Stand roundhouse whiffs, V-trigger
stand hard
whiffs.
kick whiffs. Your V trigger will whiff if they're crouching. There's a lot of things, so that when you're doing your combos, you really have to recognize if you're hitting a crouching opponent or a standing one. You know, some people won't like that. Who doesn't have like a standard flow of combos. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But people found a lot of cool things with him too, and he's definitely a really good character, for sure. Like when you play against, I've ran into a few good Vega players, and they're playing really good. And especially like with the footsie game with his claw on is really annoying. But yeah, Vega, I would say he's one of the harder characters to play.
Yeah, I just find
not
he's
a
not
beginner
intuitive.
character,
Yeah,
for sure.
he's not an intuitive character. You can't just if you pick him up and try to learn, it's like it'll take a little bit longer just to kind of get used to him.
Especially when you compare him to the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
In Street Fighter V. I think Vega is like a recommended character for someone who wants like a really deep character.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, just the whole like stance thing. I feel like this is the coolest version of Vega.
Yeah, he was really cool.
Like I never really cared about Vega ever. You know what I mean? He was just like wall jumping spam or whatever, right? He's just like he's a goofball. And then, but in this version, he was really interesting to me. I played him for a little bit, and I really liked him, man. So
I didn't mess around with him too much, but it's like day one, when the official day one, the first match I get into is against Flo, and I got wrecked. I'm like, damn it, Flo, I'm trying to learn our Mika here.
You play against Flo? I played against Afrocole.
Oh, really?
And he was using Vega. Yeah. He beat me too. It was close though. It was close.
Flo was just doing stance cancels in the middle in block strings and stuff. I'm just like,
oh fuck!
I'm just
already.
Like,
okay, well.
I'm just like, is he plus on this? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. It was too much information too fast. That's funny.
Yeah. And I got wrecked. But oh man, Graham Wolf coming out of retirement and just picking up Vega again, wrecking fools.
I'm really happy about that. I was checking out some of his stream. It was really interesting to see such an old school player, come into Street Fighter V and see how he applies that, right, to a character. Like, that's really cool, man. I feel like Capcom did an amazing job on Vega. Vega not being a charge character, it feels natural. It doesn't feel that weird. Like, it's okay having Vega not as a charge character.
Yeah.
If he is a charge character, that will change him, like, drastically.
Oh, for sure.
That will change him drastically. So, I don't know. I think he's good the way he is. I really do. As a non-charge character.
find them way more interesting this way. But I don't know. People like we never used Vega as our mains back in the day, so it
Yeah.
might be different for other people.
Oh, of course.
But he does have a little bit of an ST flavor, especially like barehanded, where you're doing like crouch strong, you cancel into the wall dives, even though it's not as good, like that ST kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, his rolls, that rolling crystal flash, that move's pretty insane now as a core circle forward motion, because I think
Mm-hmm.
the light version's like plus on block, so he's just in your face all the time without claw.
Yeah.
Command grab, like, oh, this character is insane.
So, out of all like the three characters we just talked about so far, like Necalli, I feel like is someone who wants like a simple character, a really straightforward, hard hitting character,
Yeah,
and then Ken is somebody who like he still likes the Shoto, but he wants to play someone who feels fresh and new. I feel like Ken is like the real like Street Fighter V version of a Shoto.
yeah,
And then in Vega, someone I would recommend to someone who wants someone really technical in a deep character.
yeah.
So, a good mix so far with the first three characters that we talked about. Anything else you want to talk about Vega?
Nope, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, next character. Let's get to the good stuff.
Our Mika.
Our Mika.
What a crazy,
Oh my god.
what a crazy
I don't know if I
character.
should start, man.
You're gonna go off on this character, and I don't.
I'm gonna
blame
try to
you.
hold back. I'm gonna try to hold back because like on the stream I was going off, but I think our Mika is retarded. I think this character is retarded. I think she's stupid good. Like, stupid good. I feel like our Mika is the Elfette of Guilty Gear. Remember when you were explaining Elfette in Guilty Gear in our a podcast a long time ago?
Yeah,
You were saying that, Elfette, she's like a super good character and low-end play and an absolute beast in high-end play. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, there are a lot of characters in fighting games where they are like god tier, but you also have to be in equal skill level with that character. You know what I mean? You can't play with low end play. But I feel like our Mika is amazing at all skill levels. Like I feel like she is just an absolute monster. Capcom said, she is supposed to be a grappler, the first true grappler, but I feel like she's not a grappler. She's a rush down,
she is a rushdown character. for sure.
footsie, mix up heavy, anti-zoner. She is everything. She is the Lee Sin of Street Fighter V, dude. She is. Oh my god, man. She is crazy good.
Even Ricky was complaining about our Mika.
She is
And
so good. It is
and-
retarded.
And Justin was telling us too that our Mika is really good.
Yeah, yeah. I heard from a lot of people too that she is amazing from all the people playing the previous builds. But then when I actually got my hands on her and saw how good she was, she's nuts. But anyways, let's actually talk about this character. So, you want to
Okay.
go this time?
Sure.
All right.
So yeah, her normals are really good. Yeah, they're mostly negative on block based on the tool assisted frame data.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of her pokes are slightly negative on block, but it also sets up like command grab setups as well. Her stand jab is just crazy too. Like it's far range, fast, slightly positive.
It's 3 frames. Her standing light punch is 3 frames startup,
Yeah.
and it's +3 on block.
Oh no, it's Balrog.
Just think about that for a second.
And the range is crazy on that thing.
It's 3 frames startup, and it's +3 on block. Like,
Trapped in frames, bro.
yeah, like as a grappling character, her normals are so insane for like rushdown and just keeping them locked. And then you gotta worry about her grabs. You know what I mean? Like she's just crazy. Her grabs, I don't know the startup of it exactly, but there's a lot of gimmicky stuff people are doing online. Like I feel like Armika really takes advantage of the online aspect.
Yeah.
Rollback is not going to save you. Like, well, first off, let's talk about her stupid charge hard kick. That move is so annoying, man.
It's plus on block.
She can charge her
rush
hard kick.
counter,
She jumps. It goes over fireballs. It
Goes over lows.
and it still hits you if you're crouching.
Yes.
And then she is. I wouldn't say she's plus, but she feels like she's not punishable.
Are you sure? I swore she was plus on a fully
Was she if
charged
she fully
stack.
charges it? I thought she was like -2.
Oh.
But anyway, she's able to literally charge hard kick you, and then you're put into a situation that if you hold up and try to jump out, you get hit by like a meaty medium punch, which leads into a rope throw, which means you're dead, okay? Or she'll command grab you with her giant swing, and that's annoying too. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
So it's like you're trying to find this range where you don't want to be blocking stand roundhouse. But when she charges it, like, yeah, it's slow on startup, you can hit her out of it and stuff like that, but like she charges it and you get it within that range, it's like, oh damn it. Like I screwed up in the neutral game, even though she's like so far away.
I don't feel like she's gimmicky at all. I feel like she's just straight up good.
She's strong. She just mauls you, man.
She's just
like, you
straight
watch
up
Combo
good.
Fiend play that character, and yeah, she just straight up mauls you.
Like, if you're a good Street Fighter player, like, you'll absolutely demolish people with Mika. Because you have so many tools to use. You will destroy their defense easily. Her V skill is surprisingly good, too. Even, like, when you use her mic, even though you're open, that one hit of armor really does save you from a lot of stupid things.
If they don't know the proper approach, and that's the thing. Like, I think her V skill is okay. Tapping it increases the damage on her throws like 150% or something like that. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Just for the first tick, and this is including her normal throw.
Yeah, and then she loses the buff though if she gets hit. So that's fair enough. She can combo after if the mic manages to hit, which is kind of cool.
They found ways to combo into that mic though, Killer.
Yeah, so that's
like,
really cool.
Crazy.
It's crazy. But it also puts her in a counter hit state though.
Okay.
So I think that it was really meant to force zoning characters to not throw fireballs.
That's why I called her anti-zoning too.
Yeah.
An anti-zoning grappler.
Because then you just sit there and you charge it, and it's like basically what say you zoner. But against Nash, that doesn't work. Because I played against one Mika, and I throw like a heavy sonic boom for full screen, and then he starts charging the mic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I dash forward, and the sonic boom takes the armor, and I go forward fierce, and I crush counter her. And I'm like, no, buddy, you ain't doing that.
You already got the anti-Mika technology, hey?
Pretty much.
But like, yeah, at the start, when Mika threw the mic, I usually panic. Like, I was playing Rashid, right?
Yeah,
I panic and I go in. But then after a while, I'm like, well, if she gets hit, she loses the entire buff.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, I let this Mika charge the full. I just let her charge the full. And I was just zoning her out. And then he would, like, jump into a tornado anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't really intimidated in that, like, he can kill me instantly. I was just like, well, if he tries to get in, I'm just going to zone him out anyways. So it's like, he can use the mic all he wants, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I eventually got comfortable with it and didn't panic as much.
Yeah.
But, Mika's V-trigger is pretty good. People are finding out some cool tech with it.
The V-trigger is ridiculous. Like, I can't see that sticking the way as is. Like, I like it for the combo extensions and stuff, but the setups, like, it's an unblockable setup. Because what people have found out is if you normal cancel into a V-trigger, like just tap the V-trigger, and then you do a command grab or super afterwards, it's unblockable. Because basically you're left with the decision of if you sit and block, you eat the command grab or super. If you decide to backdash or jump or whatever like that, you eat the Nadeshiko assist. And it's just like, what do you do?
Yeah.
So it's like you pick the lesser of the two evils and you eat the Nadeshiko assist. But man, depending on what they do, like if it's the drop kick or whatever, they might be able to convert off of that too. And then you can start playing some really crazy mind games if they know that too. So it's like, okay, well, I won't go for a command grab right away. I might go for a tick grab setup, or maybe I'll wait for you to get hit by Nadeshiko and then convert off of that instead. And it's just crazy, like so much damage, so much stun. Just that V-trigger's nuts.
Yeah. Do you think like even below average players will find a really good use for that V-trigger? They'll get a lot of mileage out of it.
Yeah, because they'll just throw if they just throw it out there full screen, they won't get mileage out of it. But if they start using it for tick grab setups or something like that, which is very I think that's pretty intuitive for a grappler type character, like a tick grab setup, right? So I think if they start using the V trigger for that, it'll be effective.
Another thing too is that Mika has a target combo. It's standing light kick, standing medium punch.
Yeah. And she can link into it if I remember.
Like, a lot of people know that you can't really link into mediums for most of the cast.
Yeah.
But the target combos seem to be a way around that. like Nash, for example, has a
Ken can
target
do the
combo.
same.
Ken. There's the target combo seems to be the gateway to this. Characters with target combos with mediums, and our Mika is like that too, right? And because of this, like our Mika, even though she's a grappling character, her normals are fast and her combos are super damaging and easy to do.
High stun.
The thing is that our Mika can get away with not doing grabs at all to win. That's what makes her, so crazy. She's good even without her command grabs. Like her combos are so damaging anyways.
They're damaging, but at the same time, it's because she can project the threat of a command grab that makes it even more effective. And I think that's part of the reason why she's so effective as well. It's because she's always projecting that threat of a command grab because she has it. So it's like, I don't want to eat the command grab, but I'm in this really bad situation right now. Like basically, if you're blocking our Mika, you could be in a bad situation. Like if you're blocking your jabs and stuff like that.
And like the threat of getting hit by a meaty is so like crazy high that like sometimes you just want to get command grabbed instead. Like holding up, you know what I mean? Or trying to press a button on your wake up is just so risky against our Mika. You're just the amount of damage output she'll get off like a single ground bread and butter is insane. Yeah. So basically what we're saying, guys, is our Mika is good. I'm glad we both agree with that, Killey. I think she's better than you think she is. I would recommend our Mika to people who want to win. I feel like if you're somebody who likes to win at games, I would recommend our Mika. What would you recommend our Mika to?
Anyone who likes grapplers, anyone who likes rush down, anyone who likes to win, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
He's
man.
a really strong character. Anyone who wants to do like setups, because Armika's filled with setups.
Yeah.
With that type of mix-up type character.
They're finding out some cool stuff with her for sure.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about with our Mika?
No, I guess that's about it.
Okay. So, and then we had the 2 extra characters after that, right? We talked about 4.
Yes.
So Rashid's next, hey?
Yes.
So, I want to talk about this one.
Okay.
Rashid, like, when he was first announced, I was like, did a pretty good job with him as a new character. He looked very gimmicky, Alfred-esque, people said. But then we saw some match footage of him, and he just looked like everything, all of his special moves sucked. Like besides his projectile, of course, but like his ego spike, that's where he kicks across the screen, it looks so unsafe.
It is unsafe.
And it is. And his dive kick, which is the ego spike going downwards, looks so fucking unsafe. And it just looked like the character was just very unsafe. Like,
yeah.
And then I played with him like for the first 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh man, there's like nothing with this character. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then I started like integrating his run. I started not spamming Eagle Spike and actually doing combos, and then using his projectile more. And then, long story short, guys, like I fell in love with this character. He is like my favorite character in this game, which blows my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like I said, I'm not really a character fan kind of person, but I love this character, Killey. He is so fun to play.
He is by far
so fun to play.
The most fun character
and it's
in
like,
that test.
Yeah, and it's so rare for me to like a character this much, and the fact that he's a brand new character made from scratch makes it like even better. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think Capcom did an absolute amazing job with this character. The stuff people found out with this character, he's so cool. He's such a fun character to play. Rashid, man.
He was, by far, he was when he was revealed and stuff, he was the least interesting character for me.
Yeah.
I had no interest because everything looked unsafe or gimmicky, and then like I watched Richard Nguyen play him, and he was just doing the spinning mixer all day.
Yeah, he looked pretty gimmicky. Yeah.
Like he looked really dumb. Like you just spin away, you just like plus and block or whatever like that. You just push buttons, and you just keep spin. You spin. Character's dumb.
Yeah.
And then I started using him and stuff. Like I was playing the AI, and the AI was doing the heavy kick fireball or roundhouse fireball into the down V skill stuff, and I got like frame trapped in that. I'm like,
man.
What the heck? I'm like, what
so
is this?
cool.
And then I started playing around with him. I'm like, this character is crazy. And I love the fact that he has like his dash is a run, and then you can like
Oh, I
cancel it,
know,
right?
man.
So it felt like a KOF character to me, like the way he played. So you
Yeah.
could go like dash short
Oh my
short, or
God.
like his short is really cool too because it has that KOF feel to me where I can go like short, walk up short short, or
Hmm.
and stuff like that. Granted, like other fighting games do that too, but like just the way the that flow felt very
Oh, I
KOF-ish to
know,
me,
man.
right?
Oh,
But tell them about that mix-up that someone told you about that was just
oh, I
absolutely
will.
nuts.
I'll definitely get into that. Well, first off, like I thought his dash was like a preset run distance,
Same.
and it turns out it isn't. Like you can press forward, and you can still like kind of dash. You just run for a little bit, and then you can stop on a dime and cancel into a block. Well, you can't cancel it, but you can cancel it earlier into a block or crouching normal. And just because of that alone, he's a really rushed down character. He feels very KOF styles. His normals are really wacky. Like his standing hard kick is crazy. He'll like jump back and kick you really high profile, and it's kind of negative on block though. But he's got really cool normals. His standing medium kick is cool, and it's just like his projectile is so annoying for people that don't know how to play.
Yeah.
They'll jump into it because it's like it's so weird because this projectile you don't want to jump over, and then when they get hit by it in the air, then you can juggle it after like full screen with the eagle spike, and he's so cool, man. And his V trigger is really fun to use too. You can really use it like Aegis from like Third Strike, and and everyone knows now that like his V trigger, the tornado, Rashid gets manipulated by the wind. So when he touches the tornado in any way, with any special attack or just movement, he is manipulated by it. He's like propelled forward. He'll like jump at crazy speeds through it, or his special moves will go like full screen and all this crazy stuff. But then what people found out later is that his actual projectile, just his normal core circle forward kick projectile, manipulates him as well in the same way. And if you guys remember, his hard kick version of his projectile's got a lot of startup. Rashid will spin around a few times and then he'll throw the fireball out. Well, what you can actually do is cancel that into his V skill during the spin. And what it does is it allows you to touch that projectile. So, for example, if you do his hard kick version of his projectile, excuse me, you can down V skill and roll and touch the fireball, and you can literally roll full screen and like throw the opponent or go in. And it's so funny when no one's seen that, your opponent hasn't seen that before, because you'll get him every time with it, okay? And you can use his jump V skill and literally jump full screen. Like, it's so cool. And then the crazy part is that his EX version, it does a lot more hits and it stays on the screen longer.
Hmm.
It's like the way it goes is longer, and you can actually do a setup. Someone told me in the stream chat. If I promise not to tell only Rashid players. But basically, you can do a setup where if you're a certain distance from the opponent, and either you hit them or they block, it doesn't matter, and you do the EX version, you'll roll, and then you cancel that into down V skill. You'll roll in front of the opponent, and then you just jump straight up. So just imagine you and your opponent are face to face, standing next to each other, and then you jump straight up, and what happens is the EX projectile will actually touch you at the very top of the screen, and it will push you forward just slightly, and you'll cross up your opponent. It is fucking unblockable if you've never seen it before, is what I'm saying. I've done it. I spammed the shit out of that setup so much. You guys can just check out my match videos that I'll be uploading from the stream. All my Rashid match videos. You'll see that's all I do. It's so funny. And you can actually set it up in a way that you land in front of them too. And I already loved the character before I even found that out. And when someone told me that, and I just found out how cool this character was designed, it just blew me away. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And like I said, his V trigger is really fun too. Like, the character's awesome, dude.
His V trigger has so much potential with it as a mix-up tool, lockdown tool, just resetting back to neutral, and then the juggle properties he gets off of it. Like, you can indefinitely juggle people off of the V trigger with EX, that the eagle spike or whatever like that, right?
Yeah,
Do it
yeah.
like 3 times in a row if you wanted to. Like, it's just crazy. Even like his corner juggles are crazy.
Mm-hmm. Especially when people started figuring out his wall jump is hilarious.
Oh my God, yeah, the wall jump. Like people would be like, they're not in the corner, but they would jump into the corner. Like if you got your
Yeah.
opponent's back to the corner, you would jump into the corner and then wall jump into a cross up, and you're like, what?
Yeah, as a Rashid player, you want to be in the corner just so you can show that off. You know what I mean? There was so many times where I jumped into the corner myself just so I could do it, and it's so fun because yeah. So Rashid, he has two wall jumps. One where it's like the normal classic wall jump, like Chun Li or Vega,
Yeah.
and he has another option where you can press down forward instead, and he will, I don't know, swoop downwards, I guess.
He just kind of wall jumps at like a downwards angle, like a downwards 45-degree angle.
Yeah, and you can set it up so you can hit the opponent in a cross up from the corner and knock him into the corner. It's really cool, and I was using it a lot. It's really fun. Like Rashid is just a really cool design character. Definitely my favorite so far.
I don't think he's gimmicky too much though. Like all his setups require like very specific kind of ways to set it up to get into those mix-up situations, and his specials are unsafe. So a lot of people like to compare him to El Forte and stuff, but like a lot of El Forte stuff was safe in some way, or like they're really really tricky. But like Rashid, it's like a lot of those specials are unsafe on block.
Yeah.
Like really unsafe.
Yeah.
And it's less gimmicky in my opinion. Like Rashid still has to play the footsie game. He still has to play like a neutral game in order to set all that stuff up. So I think he still fits in line with Street Fighter. He's like probably the least amount of it being a Street Fighter character, but he still has to play Street Fighter.
Yeah, I feel like he can be played gimmicky if you want to, but I don't think you'll have much success on that against someone who knows what they're doing. Well, like with all gimmicky characters, of course.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you can be like someone who just spams whirlwind or is forward medium punch command normal, you could be someone who just does random eagle spikes every now and then. You can play like that, but you can. I think the best way to play Rashid is more of a solid rushdown and more footsie based too as well.
Yeah.
I think that that's he has a lot of unsafe moves, but you're not using them too much anyways. You know what I mean? You don't need them. You shouldn't. So, Rashid, who would I recommend Rashid to?
Anyone who really likes mix-up, like intricate mix-ups.
I think I would recommend him to people who like anime fighters, like
Yes.
BlazBlue or something. Someone who likes a character that's is really deep, and he's got rushdown. But I just think like the manipulation of his projectiles and his V trigger, and how you can set it up and everything. He just feels like someone who would like anime fighters with really cool mechanics, basically. Really cool mechanical character. Yeah, and he's a good character too, I feel.
I think he's gonna be a problem in the future. Like, this is a character that has a lot of potential if people can figure out because I think the V trigger is untapped right now. There's a lot of like obvious things that people have figured out, but I think there's probably more to it. And once people really figure out his V trigger and more with his projectile manipulation, I think the character is going to be a serious problem in competitive play. Like, I can't wait until like one of those lab monster type players get their hands on him.
Yeah, man. Me too. And they've already found really crazy stuff anyways. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So that's Rashid. Yeah, my favorite character so far. Okay, so we're on the sixth and last character now.
Yes, and that's...
So, Karin, or should I say, Karin. Fuck, that's annoying, dude. Anyways, let's just call her Karin, please. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, go ahead, Killey. You play Karin way more than me, so...
She is a beast. Yeah. Probably, like, the most well-rounded character in the entire cast. And she, like, feels like a really strong footsie character. Like, her pokes are insane. They reach so far. Like, probably the farthest in the cast. Just a beast from a fundamental aspect. But she has got a lot of gimmicky stuff, too.
Especially online.
Yeah, so like the rainbow punches, they're an overhead, and then she can go into a low or that throw, but you have to be standing in order to get hit by it. So she's got like the gimmicky high mix-up that's hard to react to online. And then what else does she have that's kind of gimmicky? Oh yeah, her core circle back kicks each version of it, like the light version, she only does the two kicks. The medium version, she does the overhead, and the heavy kick version, she does this like two hit follow up afterwards.
Hmm.
The overhead one is the one that gets abused the
Well, of
most.
course. And we knew that before we even played the damn
Yeah, yeah.
game.
Yeah, and then when she does her V trigger, like that the Rekka strings have all these like built-in mix-ups to them, right?
Yeah.
So she has this like very gimmicky uh mix-up game that's built in, right? That people are trying to abuse online because it's like, oh, I'll just spam it, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, because it's online, you can't really react to it. So she has that really gimmicky play, but I think when people really get used to it, um, all that like gets destroyed. And
There's
so
so many holes in the Rekkas alone.
yeah. So the most successful way to play Karin is the footsie game because
Hmm.
she's got monstrous footsie tools.
Okay.
And like everything can be confirmed into a special, and she's got like ridiculous confirms into super. Like almost every special you can confirm into a super.
Really easy to super with her.
Yeah. And then she's got that just frame launch. So she can do some really crazy juggle combos as well if your execution's on par.
Hmm.
But the craziest thing that was discovered was her EX shoulder tackle causes a crumple state. And so what you do is after you crumple them, you do like a standing normal or just a normal, a special cancelable normal,
Hmm.
like stand fierce for example. And then you special cancel that into her command dash. And depending on the strength of the command dash, you either stay in front or you go behind them for a reset. So if you go like short command dash, she stays in front. If you go medium or roundhouse command dash, she goes behind them.
Would
And
you
so
consider it a 50-50 or a mix-up?
it's a 50. It's like a kind of a gimmicky 50-50. It's like some semi easy to react to. At least the cross up can be pretty telegraphed.
Yeah.
But yeah. And it does like crazy damage and crazy stun. Like basically I land two resets and then they were stunned. Like every time they were stunned. Just insane.
If you guys are listening to this, and I see a lot of people asking what's the difference between a mix-up and a 50-50, it's a really common question. If you guys are just wondering this right now, a mix-up and a 50-50 are the exact same thing. It's just that a 50-50, your options are extremely limited, and there's two possible outcomes. That's why it's called a 50-50.
A
They're
mix
more
up
dangerous than mix-ups.
a mix up is not limited to a 50-50. A mix up can be more dangerous than a 50-50 because a mix up can be multi-layered. It doesn't have to be guess between left, right, or high, low. It could be like guess left, right, high, low, uh, double
Yeah.
overheads, or all sorts of things. Throw. It's multi-layered. That's what I would define a mix-up as. It's just a situation where they have to guess on multiple things. Where 50-50 is either guess between two situations, but it's really ambiguous.
Yeah. And like usually with a mix-up too, the opponent has a lot more options to deal with it as well.
Uh,
If he understands all the different layers to it. But like, 50-50, especially when we're talking like Mortal Kombat or something, the opponent really doesn't have any
yeah, you
choice
don't
but
have
to
any
guess.
options. You just
That's
guess.
why I say 50-50s are so dangerous, right?
Like 50-50 is just a pure guess. Um, but yeah, it's she her that one is like kind of I don't think it's unreactable, and there are definitely ways to beat it. And it's like it's gonna be really effective week one. I don't know how effective it will be a month or two down the road. It might be way too obvious afterwards.
But I think it's a cool choice because you don't have to do it. You can just
You don't.
combo normally, get some good damage, even some V gauge by comboing into her V skill, juggling into it.
Yeah.
Or you can play a more of a risk reward kind of play style and go for that cross up and get a huge reward off that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So she does have leeway. But I do agree with you, Killey, on how I think that she should be playing more of a footsie game. Just you want to take advantage of those really strong normals and not rely on just doing spamming overhead and the Rekka game. You know what I mean? I feel like Karin is really strong, but I also feel like she has a lot of weaknesses that people are not exploiting yet. So it's kind of hard for me to place her somewhere.
I think if they play gimmicky, she's got a lot of exploits to really punish her. But if they play solid, I think it's really tough.
Hmm. Um, she's definitely the favorite of the beta.
The
I
Karin, the
played
Karin
against
army
way
was
more Karens than any other character. I thought it'd be the Ken Brigade, but it was definitely the Karin army.
yeah.
As soon as she was released, that's all I saw was Karin. Seriously, like I didn't even see that many Armika players after that point. It was just so many Karens. Like she is so popular, it's crazy. So I got hit by a million overheads with this character. Yeah, and her V trigger allows her access to the Rekkas. The Rekkas actually neutralize fireballs, and her cross up one, I feel like she'll never land that in a real match in the future.
You can throw her out of it.
Like I feel like she'll never land that cross up Rekka ever.
And,
like
and
you can see it coming a mile away. You know what I mean?
the counter strat to that is you hold down for it, because the other option she has is the slide, and I think maybe that overhead grab thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which you can crouch.
Yeah.
So if you hold down for it and she does the slide, you block the slide because it's a true block string. But if she goes for the yeah.
Oh fuck, that's that's cool. That's cool.
And then if you're holding down for it and she does the cross up, you'll block the cross up.
Oh man, that's brutal.
Yeah. So at least this is what I read.
Capcom's gonna change that. But then if they don't make it a true block screen, it's like shit. You know what I mean? Oh man.
Yeah. So this is what I read.
Oh.
I haven't tested it personally, but I've read that you can just go down forward and it beats both options.
Oh, brutal. Absolutely brutal, man.
So the counter strats are out there.
Oh my god, man. That's crazy. Oh, Karin. Really good anti-air game, really good hit confirms into her V-trigger. Karin is just really good, man. But the way people are playing her is really gimmicky right now.
Yeah.
When you play her straight up, like her footsie game, she's really powerful as well.
She's dominating.
A lot of the pro players really like to play her too.
Yeah. Well, her foot, like her crouch forward is insane range. Like all the typical characters that have really good crouch forwards, what usually happens is like you do two crouching lights, and then you end up out of range out of your crouch forward. But
Yeah.
Karin, you have enough time to go two crouching lights, walk back, crouch forward, and it's still in range.
Yeah, that's nuts. And then when you put her command grab into play,
She doesn't have a command grab.
it's really annoying, man. Or no, sorry, not command grab, command dash.
Yeah.
My bad, command dash. I'm thinking Alpha 3 Karin.
You always keep saying it was a command grab. Like, she doesn't have a command grab, dude.
She does redo her back throw. But yeah, her command dash, man, like all that on top of that, like the EX command dash goes through fireballs. You know what I mean? Like she can
Yeah.
get in if she wants to.
Yeah.
You can
So
play her rushdown if you want to. You know.
she's, crazy character. Really fun to play from a fundamental level. You have to really enjoy that fundamental level, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you really enjoy playing footsies, Karin's your character, I think. Like, if you want to play her that style. Like, and I think that's the most effective style for Karin.
So with that being said, though, who would you recommend Karin to? Footsie based?
Anyone who's used Karin in the past, you're gonna love her. Like, if you used her in Alpha 3, you're gonna love her in SF5. Anyone who wants a dominating footsie character, Karin's your character because she has arguably some of the best footsies in the game.
Okay.
And then like
Even better than Vega.
Vega is more technical with his footsies. He's
Okay.
got really strong footsies, no doubt about it. Karin's just really straightforward footsie game. Like,
Yeah.
Like everything's special cancelable too. All the key pokes are special cancelable
Okay.
in
good
some way,
point.
or V trigger cancelable into like confirms.
Mhm.
So it's crazy.
Mhm.
And then also like a character who has really easy confirms. Like if you're struggling to like get damage and stuff like that, Karin's like an easy character to confirm into her specials just to get quick damage, right?
Okay.
Also a player who likes a little bit more execution because she does have that just frame launcher, and then you get way more off of that.
Yeah.
So like she fits a lot of people. Like a lot of people who want certain things. Like that's why I think she's really popular. Is that there's a lot of positive things about the character.
Mm-hmm.
But some people say she's too like straightforward. Like she kind of is like a Fei Long type character.
Okay.
With good solid pokes and then fishing into confirms.
Mm-hmm.
So that too. I mean, a lot of things that fit people with Karin.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like,
I'm just gonna agree with you because you played her way more than me.
Like you can't go wrong with Karin in terms of like a good solid character to use. Like she's so good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she definitely has like a lot of tools to fit everybody's like niche on what kind of character they want. So
Yeah.
yeah, Karin, really cool character. overall. Like I said, I just didn't get to play as much as you did. So that's all 6 characters, man.
Yes.
So you want to cause some controversy and make a tier list?
Sure, why not?
Fuck yeah, man! I love doing this. This is always fun to do.
Okay. So
all right, well,
let's exclude the core cast.
Okay. So
then
talk
just
about just the new 6 characters in the
these
beta.
6. Yeah.
Okay.
So are we gonna go from bottom or we go from top?
Well, first, because I don't know what you're gonna say. You don't know what I'm gonna say. Well, you definitely know who I'm gonna say who's on top. But before we do this, I just wanna get some information from you, like check your temperature.
Okay.
Are we gonna include an S rank?
Oh my god.
Are we gonna include an S rank? That's all I want to know. Are we gonna go how you want to do this? You want to go S A B C or you want to go A B C?
Let's go S. We'll throw.
I'm checking your temperature because if you say S, then I know where we're gonna go. What kind of road we're going down right now?
Yeah.
So what do you think?
So we're going from the top.
Yeah, let's go from the top.
Okay, S tier.
So you want to have an S tier, or just an A plus, an A?
Let's do an A because I don't think any character is truly an S.
Oh, okay. Whew.
I don't think so.
Good thing you didn't say S then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
That was gonna cause some controversy.
I'm gonna go A.
We'll go one rank at a time. Okay.
A plus. Okay. I'm gonna say.
You can say one or multiple characters in this category.
I'm gonna say Mika and Vega A plus.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. Mika A plus for sure. I would even lean towards S when they find out the character. If this exact build of our Mika right now,
yeah,
and like people played her for like a year, like
but
S.
I think there's a couple characters who like destroy Mika.
Okay.
Like, I think Chun and Vega give Mika a hard time.
Okay.
So that's why I can't really say she's S. Like if she was
her
S,
normals are good, but they just don't reach as far as those
like,
characters.
If Mika is truly S, she would destroy the entire cast.
That's a really good point.
And I don't think that's true. I think it's kind of healthy for the meta that there are characters that flat out beat her.
Would you say that S is the same as saying God tier?
No.
Because God tier is like broken,
tier.
right?
Yeah, God tier is broken tier.
Broken tier. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So our Mika, you and me agree then that she's A plus. I feel like she's better than you think she is, for sure. Yeah. But our
I think
Mika
she's
A plus.
Strong, but like not overwhelmingly strong. Like she's really good, no doubt about it, but she's not to the point where she's like super broken. She definitely needs some adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there are a couple of characters who I feel give her a hard time. I don't think she's at that status.
Mm-hmm.
But she's definitely within my top 3.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't feel like there's anyone else in that category on my side for A+. I feel like Vega has a couple weaknesses that he just doesn't deserve to be sitting next to Mika. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to move down to A?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay. Who else? So there's Ken, Necalli, Rashid.
Yeah, we only got 6 characters, so.
And Karin. Okay, I'm gonna put Karin as A.
Okay, because of her normals?
Yeah. She's just overall well-rounded character.
So she doesn't really get a minus for the gimmickiness? Or you just feel like that's just not the way it's supposed to be played?
Because her gameplay doesn't revolve around the gimmickiness. Right?
Okay.
The gimmickiness is whatever. It's just the fact that she's such a well-rounded, balanced... I wouldn't say balanced, but she's a well-rounded character in that she has tools for a lot of situations.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I might even... do I put her in A+? She's so good.
I don't know, man. Her Rekka game's got so many fucking holes in it, dude.
I don't think the Rekkas are... I don't think you use the Rekkas to open people up, though. I think you confirm into the Rekkas, right? Or use it to bait.
You think that Karin should be sitting next to Mika, though? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I think Karin... Yeah, Karin A+, Vega A. I'm going to change it around.
What? You're changing it? That's not fair.
Yeah. I'm going to do that. Because I just... The more I think about Karin and stuff, yeah, that's how I'm going to do it.
Okay, so now we're both on the same page now.
Yes.
Now we both agree because I was gonna put Aga or not Aga, Vega at A.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he is Aga now. So now we're both on the same page now, Killey.
Yes.
We've come full circle here.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else deserve to be A?
I think Rashid has the potential to be A. I'm not sure yet. It's just a matter of
I
like
think he's got to work harder though, man. Like, I don't think his normals are up to par.
Yeah. His normals are not
Mika's and
necessarily up
Karin's
to
and
par.
Vegas. Yeah.
But I think he has a lot of tools to potentially push him into that level, if depending on what more people figure out with them. Also depends on whether he has some really big holes in his game plan, which I'm not sure yet.
So we're putting Rashid in A, or we put him in B?
I'm gonna put him in B for now.
I'm putting him in B as well. But he's an awesome character, guys.
Yes.
Okay. So that leaves Ken and Necalli. So here's the question. We're on the same page so far.
Yeah.
Is Ken and Necalli going to end up in C? Or is one of these characters going to go into B? You go first.
Oh. I'm gonna put Ken in B.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put Necalli in C.
Okay, man. That means we both completely agree.
Yes.
So that's good. All right. I'm glad that we both agree, Killey. I'm glad. But you did cheat, though, and change your Vega. But anyways, it's good, though. Ken? Why is Ken a B?
High damage output.
Yeah.
Like, really high damage output. Lots of like combo potential with the juggles.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a lot of really good confirms. Like,
Yeah.
strong confirms. A really good throw game, which is really rare now. Because throws are good in this game, but right now people are having a hard time getting throws going because of mash jab.
Mm-hmm.
But Ken, he circumvents that because of his V skill,
Yeah.
which adds another layer to his rushdown game.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got some solid pokes. His crouch medium kick is ass, but his stand roundhouse is good.
Yeah.
It's like it's slightly minus, but it's not like super punishable.
Okay.
Like you can punish it with a super by some characters. But it's
Yeah.
not like it's like you do it and you die if you don't confirm into it.
Yeah.
Like anti-air, like solid anti-airs, which is really important for any character. Invincible reversal, just well-rounded tools, but like a good rushdown game. Like he's got a good mixed bag here.
Okay. Cool, man. I agree. And then, so why is poor Necalli in C?
His normal range is ass. Even PR Raw goes so far to make this little like
Yeah, but that video was stupid though, man.
everything. No, but like
Gives a
his
shit
range
about
on
that
his
video.
normals is very lacking, and I
Yeah.
feel he's too one-dimensional.
Okay.
It doesn't mean you can't win with the character, and it doesn't mean
Oh,
you
of
can't
course
hang
not.
with the best.
The number one ranked player used Necalli.
Elyun, right?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
rank 1 and he used Necalli, dude.
Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing saying like it's not saying like Necalli can't win or he's a terrible character.
Yeah, keep
He
in mind
is-
this tier list, we're just fooling around, guys. Please don't take this tier list seriously and take it to Capcom. Please don't do that. This is just us saying whatever, and just because a character is like D or C or whatever, it just means compared to the other characters. It doesn't mean they suck.
Like I feel Necalli has to work a little bit harder than other characters, but like he can maul you. He can maul
Oh,
you.
hell
really.
yeah, man. Hell
Oh.
yeah.
And it's still like people need to get familiar. And it's like
I feel
people-
like Necalli is kind of like one of those characters, like a grappler characters from older fighting games, where they have like these good matchups, but then they have these really bad ones. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's what I think Necalli is like right now. He's too simple, like very transparent character. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I feel like he's gonna have really hard problems getting in. Like I really do. I feel like he's very V trigger reliant character.
Yeah, like
He
I feel
really
like
needs it.
without V trigger, he's limited. Like a lot of things are unsafe. And
Yeah.
the range isn't as good. The anti-air is not as reliable. Like the one button, the crouch fierce anti
Yeah.
does have the DP to compensate.
Like whereas other characters are so good even without their V trigger. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
and
I feel
then-
like he needs it.
And then as soon as he gets V trigger, he becomes crazy. Like he's
Oh,
crazy
hell
good
yeah.
V trigger. But like you have to work to get to that point.
You do.
And so there's like a balance between like having an inherent weakness and then a really good strength afterwards. So like the dynamic of the character changes as the match progresses, but again, you're going to be losing you might be losing a match before you can turn it around.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's not enough at that point. So because he has that inherent design, like an intentional design flaw to him,
Hmm.
I think that holds him back a little bit.
Well said. Yeah, man. So I'm glad we agree with the list. So let's say it one more time. Mika A plus, Karin and Vega A.
I put Karin at A plus though.
Oh, you put Karin at A plus. Oh, so
Yeah.
we don't agree then.
No,
Okay, I just have Mika at A plus.
I have Karin in A plus as well.
Okay, so and then A for me is Karin and Vega, and then you just have Vega.
Yeah,
Okay, and then B is Ken and Rashid, and then C is poor Necalli. Yeah,
yeah.
cool, man.
I think there's a lot of fluctuations that can happen though. So even though we say this, I still think there's a lot of room to fluctuate characters.
Oh,
There's
of
characters that
course.
have potential. There's characters that can go
Especially
down.
Rashid, man.
Yeah.
He's got potential, dude. Yeah, for sure.
So I think overall, like even
And
then,
Ken
like
too, man. Ken is deep. He's got.
I
a lot of
feel
stuff.
I feel that's like it's pretty compressed. Like
Yeah.
from a matchup perspective, wise, I feel like it's pretty compressed.
I feel
So
like
like
Necalli's missing a tool. I feel like he's missing something.
I feel like he needs more range.
He needs a tool for sure. I feel, and then he should be up to par. Okay, so we're done talking about the new characters.
Yes. So let's
Damn,
go
man,
back
this
to
podcast is getting long. I gotta leave for work soon.
serious. So let's
So
go back
let's
to the core
let's,
six.
let's keep this ball rolling here. The core six were released as compensation for Capcom not getting us matches on day one, which was awesome for me because I quickly try to get as much information, videos recorded before, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They shut her down, and I can figure out what differences they made, and I found a lot of cool stuff. So let's just talk about Ryu first, okay?
Yes.
Ryu got a lot of nerfs.
Poor Ryu, man.
Poor
He's
Ryu.
so
He
bad.
got a lot of nerfs. It doesn't mean he sucks. Like, a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, what about Shao Hai using Ryu at
Winning
SCR,
SCR?
right?"
Yeah.
People are gonna throw that at us. But I'm gonna tell you straight up, Shao Hai got away with murder on all of his matches, unless that was a different version of Ryu. But there was a lot of shit he was doing that was like punishable. Like all the projectiles, all the Hadokens that he was throwing in the face were completely punishable. Ryu can get punished for that hard in the version that we played in this beta. And they just took out a lot of his things. Like one big thing is he can no longer combo crouching hard kick after a standing medium punch. Like that was like, ugh, you know what I mean? It's like, why did they change that?
They took away a lot of his links, like a lot of his ways to get beefy damage from his various medium starter links. Like they took all of that away.
Yeah, I felt like, you remember how we were talking about how the target combo thing kind of leads into the getting away to combo a medium?
Yeah.
But like Ryu can't do that. He can't go like standing light punch, medium, hard punch, hard kick.
No.
Even though you can't cancel that target combo anyways. So it's like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they took out a lot of fun combos too. He can't do his light hurricane kick into EX uppercut anymore. Or EX fireball in the
I think
corner.
the hurricane whiffs on crouching again.
Yeah, the medium hurricane kick no longer hits crouching. Why? Why would they change that? You're sacrificing damage for, a combo. Like, I don't understand. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And he can't go light Tatsu into super.
He can. He can do light toss.
Oh, he still can? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
some
I
people were
checked
telling
that.
me he was gone.
Yeah, you can do light toss. Maybe from certain strings you can't do it anymore. Maybe they're pushed back further. But raw, you can do it 100%. I'm positive. What else am I trying to remember? He can't do something like, he can't do crouching light kick into 2 crouching light punches anymore and confirm that into an uppercut. Like they'll be pushed too far, so you can go crouching light kick, crouching light punch, and then that's it. Other weird things. One big thing too is his V trigger. All of his fireballs drain V gauge now by like 10%.
Indirect nerf.
Indirect
basically.
nerf? Just
Like
to,
it's basically like it's meant to be consistent with the rest of the cast because
Yeah.
that's what happens with the rest of the cast. So why is Ryu getting special treatment for that, right? So I can see
Um,
that like to make it consistent,
mhm.
that's fine, but it's an indirect nerf.
Okay. His supers don't cause hard knockdowns anymore.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess they did that to stop the unblockable dungeon setups.
Oh.
After his crush counter, his standing hard kick crush counter, he can no longer combo into his forward hard punch. Because I thought Ryu had the most massive damaging crush counter combo. But he doesn't anymore. He can't do that anymore.
Oh.
He can't do certain combos after his jumping medium punch anymore. Like, overall, he just looks nerfed. And they took a lot of the fun stuff with him.
Like, anything get buffed?
Yeah, he got some, but they're indirect buffs, I would say.
Okay.
Because now that with the new V-trigger cancel system off like almost all normals, he's able to do some cool confirms into V-trigger. Standing medium kick into V-trigger is a good one. Like, Ryu's standing medium kick is really good. And other cool things. So there's that. He's got a lot more combo potential with V-trigger in itself. But overall, I just think he's nerfed. Like I said, this is not the final build of Ryu. Like, maybe the SCR build with Shao Hai was a better version. But in this version, I feel like he's just nerfed. And they took out some fun stuff with him. It doesn't mean he's a bad character. But he just isn't as good as he was, I guess.
He has to work a lot harder.
He has to work a lot harder. And he still has the tools. He still has all the tools he needs to win. It's just that he's like a dumbed down version. You know, he's a shadow of his former self. He's like, he's getting the Nash treatment right now.
Yeah,
he's getting Nash treatment. But let's talk on a lighter note. Let's talk about Nash. Killey, you can tell your story about Nash.
Okay, so I thought Nash got a lot of changes, like insane amount of changes, and I didn't realize it all at first. So I felt like it was like really bad at first because his max damage combo before was like crouch, fierce, back, medium kick, sonic boom, V trigger, etc., right?
Yeah, and you're bitching like crazy.
That didn't work anymore, right? Because what happened is that they took away the ability to cancel cancel sonic boom startup into his V trigger.
Okay.
So that didn't work anymore. We're like, what the heck? You took away like one of his coolest combos, and in order to like compensate, you had to weaken your combo starter with medium punch and stuff like that. There was ways around it to make the combo work again, but with different normals. And then I realized you can link stand medium punch after like crouch fear. So like there's a lot of times where I had back medium kick whiffing, but then I just replaced it with stand strong, and then all of a sudden like a lot of these combos worked. So that was good. But the other thing is, I said you can't cancel V trigger off of Sonic Boom startup, but you can still do it off of EX Sonic Boom.
I see.
So now you can like replace certain things with EX Sonic Boom, V trigger, and stuff like that.
That's more intuitive too.
Yeah. The other cool part is that they buffed EX Moonsault Slash. That move is so garbage in phase 1. Like you have
probably one of the worst moves in the game. That's the move where he leaps towards the opponent and kicks downwards.
Yeah.
The EX version.
So the EX version was so bad, and then they buffed it. It tracks better, and it's faster. Like it hits faster because he does it lower to the ground.
Way lower.
And you're plus on block afterwards, right? So this thing is amazing.
Okay.
I think it's really good.
It does what you expect it to do.
Yes.
When you first used it at E3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now it's like it's usable now. So it's good. EX Sonic Scythe is faster startup. So you can actually use it as an anti-air.
Okay.
You don't have to be like predictive with it. You can do it reactionary because it's that fast.
That's good.
So that's good. And it's perfect because it covers this anti-air range that his normals, his best anti-air normals don't cover. So it's like I have all the anti-air situations down pat with Nash now because I have an anti-air button or move for every situation.
Cool.
Roundhouse Sonic Scythe launches higher now. So in the corner, and I think this is kind of universal because there's a lot of characters that can do like double juggles in the corner now. But like you can go Roundhouse Sonic Scythe into EX Sonic Scythe or forward light kick bazooka knee, and it causes like a reset situation.
Really? And I'm assuming that does a lot of damage.
Yeah, like and bazooka knee used to cause a knockdown when you juggle into it. Now it just causes an air reset. So now you get resets in the corner off of it.
That's really cool.
It's insanity. Forward light kick got buffed like crazy too, so it's like no longer super negative on block.
Okay.
Forward heavy punch is safer on block now. It's not as negative on hit as well. Like it's good. New crush counter stand fierce leads into like all sorts of crazy combos too.
Okay.
What else did they do?
Sounds like they did a lot, Killey.
There's so much. It was when I had a full realization of what they did to Nash. I was so happy because he's a he's good. He's good now. He's actually like playable. He is actually good. I was on a tear with Nash in the last day of the beta. When I finally figured out how to play Nash with all the changes,
Yeah.
I was on a tear. I
You
got
were
up to like
going beast mode?
I got up to like rank 74 with Nash.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Before the beta shut down.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I saw a lot of Nash players too. He's still really
Yeah, he's still
popular
popular.
character. A lot of people like to play Nash.
Like there are definite nerfs with the character, but
Yeah.
like with all the other changes they made, I feel like it compensates for it. Like the one major thing I like is that the fact that Nash, they gave him a reason to use his EX moves.
Okay.
Before it was like there was no reason to use his EX moves. So you would want to save all your meter for super.
Okay.
But now they've given him reasons to use the EX move. So I like that change. Like there's now purpose into his other moves. So that was a smart change.
So you're saying that this version of Nash that you played in the beta is the best version of Nash so far?
I feel he's better than Phase 1. There are some people who miss some aspects of Phase 1 Nash, which I totally agree. Like, there's some aspects that I really liked of Phase 1 Nash, but overall, I like the changes in Phase 2. And I think it makes the character more fun to use and more versatile. And, like, I feel like he's just better overall.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Next character. Chun Li.
I
So-
think she's good.
I
So-
think Chun Li, she didn't really get affected too much.
Not too much, but
I-
the additions they gave to her really make an impact.
Yeah. First off, she can still combo into her mediums. Like she
Yeah,
can still
from
do
lights, from
crouching.
lights.
Yeah, from lights. Sorry, she can still do crouching light punch, standing medium punch, crouching medium kick into EX legs, like her bread and butter from Phase 1. So when I played Chun Li, I was happy right away. I was so happy.
You did the Craigasm face, man.
I did the
That's insane.
Craigasm face. I was so happy that they didn't change that because I felt like she really needed that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Her back hard kick got nerfed a little bit. It doesn't seem to have as much priority, and it doesn't launch them as high. It's a little harder to dash underneath the opponent with it after you juggle them. What else did they change with her? Her EX lightning legs, it snags now. Like if you hit them in the air with it, it'll do all the hits.
I remember when Kwa was like, he was just throwing out jabs, and like she was in her second rep of EX legs, and then all of a sudden it caught the jab, and the whole thing hit.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like a super. Like it snags. It's like I don't even know what that character is. What's that character in KOF where he like darts his hand out, and if you touch it, you get punched a million times? I think he's like, what is his name? Real?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Bro.
that. I don't know. It's cool. What else did they change? Her V skill gains meter on whiff.
Yeah. So she gains like double V gauge now.
Yeah.
She lands it and everything.
She lost some combos though with her V trigger. I saw that one coming a mile away. Like after her overhead, you can't combo into standing medium punch anymore, but you can still combo into crouching and do like your lightning leg combo. So it doesn't matter anyways. What else? Her back hard kick. It'll always like cause a juggled state, so you can do crouching hard kick after. It doesn't have to do one hit anymore.
Okay.
You'll always combo. You can go straight into super.
That's awesome.
Overall, she got buffed, man.
Her back fierce as a crush counter.
Yeah,
is
her back fist is a
amazing.
crush counter now. That's crazy good. It launches the opponent though. It doesn't stagger them.
Yeah, but you can combo into EX legs after, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And then,
or super. So like, oh man, and her
hitbox
back
is-
hard punch is so fast for a crush counter. You know what I mean?
And it's plus on block.
Yeah.
The hitbox is good too, so you can use it as a pseudo anti-air. Like even if you trade, you get like double the V gauge, right? Because not
Yeah.
only do you get the V gauge for the counter, for the crush counter,
Yeah.
you took a hit too. You traded into hit, so you get the V gauge for that too. So it's like almost one bar right away.
She can still do her instant air lightning legs. She can still do her instant air head stomp. I feel like she did get some small nerfs, but they're not even close to her buffs. Sorry,
Yeah.
my phone. Anyways, yeah. So I felt like overall, Chun Li is awesome. Like she's really good.
I think she's solid. She's like
She's really good.
right where she needs to be.
So Chun Li players, you should be happy, man. Like she was very unaffected by the insane nerf bag going around.
Speaking of nerf bats,
Who are we talking about?
Cammy.
Oh, Cammy. Oh, guys, Cammy. Cammy got hit hard, dude. like really hard. Well, first everyone knows she can't combo into her light into mediums, but she can. But I'll get to that later. So that was like an indirect nerf, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, but we saw that coming a mile away. And then her back hard punch is now changed to her back medium punch, which means it does less damage. And the hitbox on it is crazy bad. Very bad horizontal range on it. It's harder to use as an anti-air. And then her forward hard kick, where she kicks twice with her knees, it can't be linked into her back medium punch anymore. Your only option, I think, is to do a crouching medium punch. So you lose some damage there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And her V skill pushes them back a little bit further. It's harder to combo into that crouching medium punch afterwards. But you can still do it. And she just feels like it's really hard to open up the opponent. You know what I mean? Like, her strike seems still the same.
Didn't they increase the height restriction?
I don't remember.
I think like EX strike. I think you said
I couldn't TK. I couldn't like Tiger Knee the EX strike. But maybe I was just being really bad.
Okay.
But I gotta read the forums on that and see if they can still do it. But from what I understand, you can't do it at a really low height anymore. But don't take my word for it. I gotta read the forums and make sure, because just Cammy just felt like the scaling on her damage is really bad. Like when you activate V trigger and you do spiral arrow into her uppercut, like it does really little damage now. Like a lot of just the scaling. That could be an indirect nerf too, because the scaling in the game is way higher now.
Yeah.
What else bugged me about her?
I felt like some of her normals got nerfed in terms of their range. Like a lot of people were complaining about like stand heavy kick not having good range anymore.
Yeah, she feels like how you felt about Nash after all the changes, you know what I mean? Like a shell of her former self. But she did get some buffs. I don't know if they'll compensate for it, but like one thing is when she lands her EX strike, her EX dive kick, you can now combo a special move after, so you can do uppercut.
Okay.
Her super has been changed to double core circle forward kick, and because of this, you're able to really easily do uppercut into super. The buffer is way easier.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't really call that a buff. And
it's an indirect
she
buff.
can now combo like her crouching medium punch after a cross up V skill. Before you were too far to do that crouching medium punch after, but now you can.
Okay.
Her target combo. She can cancel the roundhouse into hooligan, EX hooligan, and then do the dive kick. So she can combo her EX dive kick after a target combo into uppercut.
Didn't you say it was jump cancelable?
No, it's a hooligan, EX hooligan.
Okay.
It's EX hooligan. It just has enough time to dive kick. It looks like a jump cancel. And then so she gets some damage off that, and she can combo into her back medium punch now because it's fast, right? So you can go crouching light punch, back medium punch, but you gotta be so close. And I guess she got an indirect buff with the new V trigger cancel system, so she can do things like standing medium punch, crouching medium kick into V trigger, and other openings with that, right?
Mm.
But I feel like Cammy, I feel like she has problems opening up the opponent. I feel like her hooligan's just not fast enough to cause some cross-up shenanigans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Her normals are good, but they're not long range enough. You know what I mean? They're fast, but I feel like out of all the characters nerfed, including Ryu, I feel like Cammy got hit the hardest, for sure.
Crazy.
Yeah. But I don't know. I didn't have too much time.
Yeah.
This is just my first impression of her. So I wouldn't worry too much, guys, but I just feel like she got nerfed the hardest out of all the characters. Okay. And honestly, Cammy, she's a really boring character, to be straight up honest. She's just such a plain character compared to the rest of the cast for Street Fighter V.
Mm-hmm.
Including her V trigger and her V skill. I feel it's just very uninspired. I really want them to go back to the books on Cammy. I just feel like she doesn't belong in this cast right now. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean it. That's really how I feel about Cammy right now.
She needs more. Before she fully belongs in the cast, she needs a little bit more spice to her.
Yeah, I really do feel the same way. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on then. Let's go to Birdie.
Oh, Birdie. Yeah, Birdie, he got some really cool changes, man. Really good buffs. First off, when he activates V-Trigger, he's got insane movement speed. It's like Ryu speed when he walks back and forth. It kind of feels like he gets slower the more his V-Trigger drains.
Oh, really?
It seems like it. I don't know for sure, though. It seemed like it. It's hard to tell. Maybe I was just so shocked when I saw how fast he was moving, and then when I got used to it, it seemed like it was slower.
What about the slowdown you get?
Yeah. Maybe it was that. But anyways, he is faster. His move speed is faster when he activates V-Trigger now, which is crazy. Because his V-Trigger was already very scary to begin with. Having Birdie with the normals that he has with good movement speed is fucking terrifying, right?
Yes.
With the damage buff.
But he can't link all those jabs into Bullhead anymore.
He did get a nerf. He can't go crouching light punch twice into standing light punch into Bullhead, but he can go standing light kick, standing medium punch now.
Oh,
he can link into his mediums.
Damn.
And his Bullhead is a core circle forward punch now. It's not a half circle forward punch, so it's way easier to do. But then again, his Bullhead is now super punishable on block.
Yeah, because it doesn't push back as much.
Yeah, it's super punishable. You cannot spam this thing.
I get like I think I get a Stand Fierce starter with Nash on that.
I was bitching about that so much too in the first phase because people are just spamming that. You get hit by that, it's like super. You're dead, you know.
Yeah.
They changed a lot of the Birdie. Oh, when you activate V trigger and he eats his donuts or uses any of his V skills, his V gauge actually goes up still. So he's the only character in the game that can, besides Necalli, that can keep his V trigger up forever if you keep using his V skill.
And I remember that was one of the first things we tested during E3.
It was really crazy. Yeah, that's one of the first things we tested. So he breaks one of the rules. What else? Indirect buff with the V trigger canceling.
Also, his V trigger has the flames. So
and we were talking about that in the beta too, man. We tested that as well. Now, when Birdie activates his V trigger and eats the hot pepper and he blows out fire, it actually is an attack now, and you can combo an EX Bullhead afterwards, so you can juggle with it.
Oh man, crazy!
So Birdie can do something into V trigger cancel into EX Bullhead. Something into EX Bullhead into V trigger cancel into another EX Bullhead. A lot of damage.
Oh, so much damage.
A lot of damage. I feel like they're doing a good job with Birdie. Like he's good, solid.
Didn't they buff his EX dive?
Not in this version. It wasn't as fast as like Maximilian was saying. So maybe it was a different build.
Okay.
But I've seen the footage of the super fast dive, and it wasn't like that in this version.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw it too. I'm like, that kind of looks slow. So.
Yeah. It was retarded fast in whatever version we were watching, the SCR. Like, retarded fast.
Mm-hmm.
It was SCR or PAX. But this version seemed like it was normal. It still looked better than it was before.
Yeah.
What else did they change Birdie? There's probably some more stuff I just don't remember, but overall, Birdie got buffed.
Okay.
Overall, he got buffed. Okay, Are we missing someone?
Yes.
Lord Bison?
We saved the best for last.
Lord Bison,
Bison.
Right? That's it. Okay, are you sure we didn't miss anyone? We talked about 5 characters already?
Yeah, Ryu, Chun, Nash, Cammy, Birdie.
Gotcha. Okay. Lord Bison. He was like the character I wanted to test out the most of all the changes. Because, Bison is notoriously good in this game. He's already a great character, and I want to see, did he get buffed or did he get nerfed? And I think overall he's exactly the same. He got equal nerfs to the buffs that he got. One thing is his light scissors are technically unsafe. They're
like -3, right?
-3.
Yeah.
But the pushback makes it kind of hard to punish it.
Yeah.
And so you can punish it with like a crouching light punch, but online it's not going to be easy to time that perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
You can whiff a DP, but you got to be careful, man, because if your range is not correct, you do not want to whiff a DP on Bison. That is bad news bears.
Yes.
Bison now has a new beastly crush counter, which is standing hard kick. This thing is like one of the best crush counters in the game. It is beast mode. Like, the amount of damage Bison gets from a crush counter is crazy. This thing doesn't knock you up. It does a hard stun on you with a crush counter.
Does it crumple?
It crumples them. It's actually like literally like if you hit someone with a focus attack in Street Fighter 4, they fall on their knees and then they fall on the floor. It is literally like hitting someone with a focus attack. So this is a different type of crumple. Yeah, he can just do slide. He can do standing hard punch into hard scissors, like for massive damage, dude. So he's got another buff where he can cancel the second hit of his scissors into either V trigger or super. Both are crazy.
But to be fair, we did say that would be crazy, but it wasn't the roundhouse. Like, sorry, the scissors into V trigger isn't as crazy as we thought it'd be because you can't combo afterwards from light scissors. It has to be roundhouse scissors?
If you're like point blank, but you only cancel from a light. Yeah. And since his scissors are much slower in V trigger, you can't get much off it.
Yeah.
You can't start your crazy train. So that you want to use your hard kick version of your scissors to really get damage, to really combo into that crouching medium punch, and then start your thing.
And how do you land that roundhouse scissors?
Standing hard punch, crush counter.
Crush counter, stand, roundhouse. Because you can go stand roundhouse, crush counter, stand fierce, roundhouse scissors. Yep. Is that right?
Yeah.
Roundhouse scissors, V trigger cancel.
And then you're dead.
And then crouch strong, whatever.
And like it works so well with Bison because the opponent is under so much pressure from his scissors, and then out of nowhere that hard kick comes, and then if you get a crush counter, it's like, oh, you're dead, dude. And then now he can cancel a second hit from his to his super, which makes his super more reliable to combo. Much longer hit confirm. You still can't do like his bread and butter lights. You still can't do like, let's say, crouching light punch, standing light kick into light scissors into super. There's still pushback too far even after the second hit. But nonetheless, it's still much easier to hit confirm. I think I got one match. I did crush counter, standing hard punch, hard scissors into super. Yeah. Massive damage. His super has been changed, the input. It's now core circle forward twice, punch, instead of kick. The input on his Inferno, on the E3 build, it was a charge move, and then they changed it to core circle back punch, and then in this build, it's back to a charge move. Charge down, up punch. And it got nerfed.
Buff and nerf. It's faster startup, but it is now unsafe on block.
Yeah, so you can't do the whole scissors, crushing light punch, Inferno into, light scissors kind of thing, and twine the two.
So you got to get the Inferno as a meaty if you want frame advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Bison, like I said, I think he's the same. I think like the nerfs that he got
balance out with
the buffs. But he's a lot funner to play, I think.
Because the dashes are now
his dashes is teleport,
but it's not the V trigger equivalent.
Yeah, he can't dash through the opponent. And
Why?
He can still dash through fireballs.
Yes, but remember, EX Fireball goes full screen.
EX Fireball now goes full screen with Bison, the EX Cycle Blast, and I feel like Capcom made sure you couldn't dash the opponent because otherwise you'd be able to do some insane cross-ups with the projectile. You'd play him like Dawson, basically. And, Bison's crazy. I still think he's a very strong character, and I think they tuned him well.
Yeah, he's not as crazy as we thought he was going to be, but he's still crazy.
He's still crazy good, just as a character alone.
So comparing him with the new cast, do we still think he's the best character in the game? Top 3 material?
Yeah, I still think he's good. I still think he's way up there. I would honestly sit him beside our Mika, to be honest.
Whoa, that high.
Yeah. I feel like Bison is easy to play and super good. And it will just punish below average players. Holy shit. Bison just destroys people who don't know how to play. And he just got really good tools, man. I think Bison's really good still.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't lose like anything super important. I feel like Bison's still really strong.
All right. So then that's the core 6, the new 6, and the beta in general.
Yeah, I still want to do like a little tier list with the old characters, but
should save that one.
I don't know. I still want to go, but there's still some stuff to talk about. But I gotta leave for work, so I guess we're just gonna have to like either make this a 2-parter or we're gonna end the podcast kind of thing.
Okay.
So either way, I'll cut something into this footage. So let's just stop now, Killey, and we'll figure it out when I get back from work, kind of thing.
Okay.
All right, I'm back from work now, Killey. We've warped in time to the future, and we're continuing from where we left off. We should be only like an extra 10 minutes or something. But anyways, wait, where did we leave off? We're talking about the tier list for the original core?
Yes.
Okay, so after all we discussed, let's start with the top characters, basically.
Okay.
So once again, we're not going to have an S, right? You don't have any characters that are S?
No.
Okay, so let's just start with A+ then.
All right.
Any character deserves to be A+ out of the original 6.
Bison.
With this version. Lord Bison?
That's it. Just him.
Actually, we would pretty much have to say A+, because we pretty much just said that he's at the same place where he was at before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he would have to stay A+, right? I agree. Anyone else deserves to be A+? I don't think so.
No.
I think Bison's a cut above the rest.
Pretty much.
For sure. Anybody deserves to be an A, though?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No.
Okay. As for me, let me think.
Like Birdie at the most, but I don't think he fits into that.
Really? Well, I think Birdie has definitely some weaknesses. But Birdie did get lots of buffs, and we did say Birdie was really high. Like we said before that Birdie and Cammy were like A, you know what I mean?
But their changes now, like...
Yeah, like Birdie's like... Bullhead is not like super safe like it was before too, as well. Okay. I'm thinking if I should still put Birdie as an A though. Maybe would a B+ count?
No, B+, obviously B+ wouldn't count as A, but I mean, you can put him B+ if you want.
Yeah, I'm thinking Birdie somewhere B+. Just because he's got so many buffs and he's still a really great character. Let's go down to B's now.
Okay.
B should be really easy.
Yes.
So I'm assuming you're going to say Nash.
Yes. And Chun Li.
And Chun Li. Yeah. I feel like Nash he did get some nerfs, but I think that these buffs were more intuitive and just make him more straightforward, and he has some tools that help some weaknesses he had before, especially on his normals and, like you said, the EX Sonic Scythe and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So we got Chun Li at B. You know what? I'm thinking of putting Chun Li at A now. I think.
Really, that good?
I think because Chun Li got the most buffs out of everybody because there's so many things that she maintained, and I think with her V trigger is so good, and her overall tool set is so good. I just feel like Chun Li is just really, really strong now compared to what she was before. I'm kind of all over the place right now, but I think we both agree that Cammy and Ryu would be at a C.
Yes, the bottom two.
I feel like Ryu should never be a C just because he has all the tools he needs to win. But just this version of Ryu, the one that we play, just feels just so nerfed compared to what he was before. But he still has all the tools he needs to win, kind of thing. So maybe if we want to get technical, maybe I give him either a B- or a C+. Yeah. So, but I feel like they're still gonna change Ryu around a lot more, and he'll end up somewhere in the middle, like he usually does, anyways, in the end. But Cammy for sure is a C. Cammy can still be good. You can still win with her, but she has some clear weaknesses, I think. And that's why she's a C with Necalli, right?
Yeah.
So I guess we should talk about the tier list as a whole. As for
Okay.
fun. The 12 character tier list right now. So we have A+. I say just A+ would be our Mika and Bison, but you say it's our Mika, Bison, and Karin, right?
Yeah.
I want to try to change your mind on this, okay?
Okay.
Because you gotta think our Mika. Everything about her is good, okay? She can do well even without throw. She has got good normals. She could play a bunch of different playstyles. Her V skill is good. Her V trigger is amazing. And you want to say that Karin actually deserves to sit beside this character?
Yes, because her normals are better, way better.
Karen's normals are better, but then like
She has way better
her
footsies.
V trigger.
It doesn't matter. Her way better footsies, and
Okay,
that's really really important considering the game's so fundamental heavy.
so I can't convince you to change your mind.
Absolutely not.
Okay, I tried. I tried. And then for A, I have we both have Vega,
Yeah.
and there was no one else on the new characters, right? So
No.
I say Chun Li gets to sit beside Vega for A.
It's pretty bold.
It is pretty bold. I used to hate on a lot on Chun Li, but they finally made it so her, her view skill gives gauge, and she just didn't get hit with really any nerfs, honestly, just buffs. And with the new V trigger universal system activating on all her normals, it just gives her so much leeway, and her V trigger is consistently good. I just feel like Chun Li is very strong, technical like Vega, but she's strong. So down to B. I said Birdie's a B plus. You don't have a B plus.
No.
Then so we have Birdie. We got Ken,
Rashid.
and we're missing one guy, Nash,
Yes, and Nash.
and Nash.
Yeah.
And then as for C, Necalli and Ryu and Cammy.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So for the most part, we agree. There's just some slight,
I think
differences, but
even with saying that, I think the matchup disparities are tiny. Like I think it's
Oh.
really compressed, like from a tier list perspective.
we don't have too many characters though.
Yeah, I know, but it feels like it's not just because someone's in C doesn't mean it's like they're so bad. It's like it's super compressed in that anyone can win. Like I don't feel like any characters at a
Do you
huge,
want
huge
disparity?
No, absolutely not. It should be as close to balance as possible.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
some people like disparity because they like it shows that the game is diverse. You know what I mean?
I don't know if intentionally bad matchups is a sign of diversity or not.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we can always say like zoners should always give grapplers a hard time and that kind of thing, but I don't know if that's really whether that's a good thing or not. Like whether having intentional matchup disparity is
Like Pip
is-
Rock Scissor matches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I can understand that for sure. Like, would you say that like if everything was balanced and even, would you say the game would be boring?
No, because it means it's all up to player skill.
Uh huh.
Like that's when you get a true test of player skill, and you don't have to say player matchups play in a factor.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to hold on to matchups as the reasons why they lose and stuff like that, or this character is BS.
Even if the game was balanced, Killey, they would say it anyways. So
Jeez.
you know what I mean?
But if we truly had a game that had five matchups across the board,
Yeah.
I mean that would be like the ultimate form of proving you're the best player,
Uh huh.
right? Because you have no matchup disparities. It's all about skill level.
Uh huh. Yeah.
At least that's my opinion on it. I think some people are definitely disagree. Like
Yeah.
I can understand that. I can understand people saying they want that dynamic kind of matchups where it's like as a grappling character he should struggle against zoning, or he or she should struggle against some zoning characters and stuff like that, and have those type of dynamic matchups. And yeah, I can understand where they're coming from, but personally I'd rather go for as close to a balanced fighting game as possible, where where you're looking for like 5-5 across the board.
Uh huh.
Just because for me I'd rather have a test of player skill rather than like some obvious not obvious like some obvious disadvantage. Obviously player skill comes into play to overcome matchup disadvantages, but it's just I find it more entertaining when it's just when you don't have to have that in the back of your head, right? Like this matchup is bad.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's funny because like in games like League of Legends, their kind of format is the balance of imbalance, right? They constantly will make champions stronger than others that were weak before. It's like a constant imbalance to keep the game fresh, to constantly change the meta all the time.
It feels artificial when you do it that way, though. Well,
It's
is
funny because like in
artificial,
Mortal
but
Kombat, it's done like unintentionally.
yeah, like that is absolutely artificial way to balance it to keep it fresh, and like it does keep it fresh in its own way. But I just don't
Yeah.
like that how volatile the changes become. Like I'm always one for stability.
For a fighting game, it's like a huge like disparity because like, for example, like Chun Li, right? She has a V trigger, right? And then she has a V trigger, 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 and then she has a You know what I mean? Like you train with a character for so long, then all of a sudden it gets the nerf bad, and it's just like
Yeah, the
so
thing
much
with
work.
the thing with League is that it's a team-based game, and then there's a lot of different roles, right? So people have to be multi-talented with different roles when you're playing. So you learn multiple characters, right? But in fighting games, it's like you only want to use a specific archetype or you want to use a specific character. So you don't want artificial balancing where you purposely make certain characters weaker or stronger, right? Because then the people who are character loyalists, they get screwed at one point in the meta, and then next time they know, they're all of a sudden doing really well because their character got buffed up the ass, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just an artificial way to create a meta, and I don't like that.
Hmm.
At least for fighting games, like MOBAs is a whole different beast, right? Like
Yeah.
it might work in its own way, but fighting games are different. Like you
Hmm.
can't, I don't think you can apply the same thought process to that,
Yeah.
right? Because there are cases where it's like you have character loyalists, character specialists, stuff like that,
Hmm.
and like in having it swing between they're really good to they're really bad is not a good way.
Hmm. Okay. So like I said, with the current tier list that we have, like we don't have any crazy like differences. Like there's not someone I say is a C and that you think is an A or anything like that. So
Hmm.
for the most part, is there any changes with characters that you'd like to see before we close this up?
Uh, like character specific changes.
Yeah, or any changes like just in general, something
Uh,
that you're seeing that kind of bugs you so far? Because you know what, we're at the midpoint of the game. We're at the point now where we're really starting to see how the game is going to shape up in its final form.
Well, the
Like,
game's almost pretty much complete at this point because
yeah,
said
like
that it's coming out on February 16th, right?
yeah.
Like
So the
we're in
game,
the final stretch.
the game's going to be going gold probably like in December, right? So
Yeah.
how much time do we have? You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
like we'll talk more about that in the next podcast. But I was just curious if there's anything that you're seeing that you'd like to change, like in general.
Uh, like I just feel like a lot of the changes to Cammy and Ree are really unwarranted right now. Like
Yeah.
they're just like some of the new characters, they have some really crazy stuff to them, but it's like Ree and Cammy kind of feel so plain. Like I want them to do more to make them interesting. Like not to make them like overpowered or anything, but like keep them interesting, right? Like keep them viable.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. You don't have to go too far, right? Like
Yeah.
especially with Cammy, I think.
Yeah.
Especially with Cammy. And like I was thinking like that too at the beginning. Cammy was really fun to play in the very first beta, but that's because she was really good, Like
Hmm.
the light and mediums with her was really powerful. But now with that gone, that's fine, but give her something that just gives her more of an identity as a character.
Hmm.
That's all I feel. But I am glad that Capcom was looking into making the V trigger canceling more interesting by, you know what I mean, not limiting just what normals into what.
Yeah. Being able to do it more on like off of any normal on blocks, stuff
Yeah, it
like
really
that.
opens up like the comboing without really destroying too much of the high risk, high reward kind of thing. So we got that. So it's looking good so far, for sure. I can't wait to see what Capcom has for different modes and game types for us too. Because once they're done like announcing all the different characters, they're gonna start talking about the contents of the game itself, right?
Yeah.
So I can't wait for that. But anyways, yeah, this podcast is probably super long now, so I better close it up, and then we'll talk about Dalsum when we get some more information. We're still waiting on some more information. We don't really have too much concrete stuff right now.
Yeah, pretty much the next playable build of Dulcim will be at Canada Cup, which is this weekend. So
Okay,
hopefully we
that's
get
good.
more.
So hopefully we'll get some more information then,
Yeah.
and then we could do another podcast. I still want to talk about like the leaked characters and stuff and
Hmm.
all the crazy stuff they're figuring out from the game. But yeah, guys, thanks for taking the time to listen to this podcast. Let us know your experience for the beta, especially the PC users, because I played PS4 more than I played PC. Let us know which characters you think are strong, which characters you think need some buffing. What do you guys think about our tier list that we came up? Just for fun, of course. And yeah, just in general. Anyways, guys, take it easy. Peace.